Hey guys, what's up? So yeah, end times. Sorry, can you hear me now? End times steadily approaching. A lot of sources say this is it. A couple different sources say well, Billy Carson specifically says Pope Francis is the last pope. But there's on the in the Vatican or whatever, there's like these rows of vials that show the different popes, and there's only one more spot after Pope Francis. Okay, so it's like the next pope or whatever is going to be the beast or whatever, the false prophet, the whoever, the little horn. But anyway, actually, speaking of little horn, let's go to my YouTube real quick. Taoist, little horn, Trump. Okay, let's see if it shows my stuff or it just automatically cancels me. Yeah, you can't find my stuff. So let me put my name in parentheses so you can find my stuff. I'm not being shadow banned. Yeah, Trump. Trump is the little horn of Daniel 8. Okay, he magnifies himself. He destroys through peace. Let's have peace in Israel, peace with China, peace with North Korea, peace with Russia. He's pretending to unite with the 10 kingdoms or the 10 horns of Revelation, and he understands riddles. Okay? Trump is not some New York billionaire American idiot. He's not the Green Day American idiot. He's a billionaire, one percenter, elitist, Illuminati, scumbag puppet. So, yeah, sure, he's for gun rights, he's against the woke agenda, he's for free speech, blah blah blah. Those are all illusions. Those are all deceptions to make you think he's for America, where he's actually for the daughter of Babylon. And I don't know if you know, but Jeremiah talks about the daughter of Babylon, not Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. And if you didn't know, Babylon was in Mesopotamia, or no, Babylon is Iraq, basically. Okay, and we invaded Iraq with Bush in 2008. We invaded Babylon essentially, and America is all about idol worship, self, money, and basically everything against the Bible. We call ourselves a Christian nation, but we're actually promoting paganism. We think Jesus was born December 25th. We think Easter bunnies have anything to do with the Bible. We think mammals lay chocolate eggs. We're teaching kids that bunnies lay eggs like they're birds or something, but they're mammals. They don't lay eggs. We have this whole warped perception of reality. Sorry, I'm just reminding you. Yeah, and I talked about, the creator, robot stuff, and it happened to be at the San Diego Chargers game where these robots came out. And San Diego is where Satan comes down as lightning or a UFO or whatever, and the San Onofre power plants. Okay, Satan comes down as lightning. And what are the San Diego Chargers theme? It's lightning, red and blue lightning. And then we see at the Denver airport murals, there's red and blue lightning coming down from heaven. No biggie. And then we see the Donald Trump Patriot of the Year. He's on the cover of Time magazine again. But you see this little symbol right here. It's the square and compass. It's the Freemason symbol. So. Oh yeah, and then I wasn't allowed to comment on anything for like a week or two. Based on your use, this action will be unavailable for you until December 13th. Tell us if we think we made a mistake. You didn't tell me what that meant. Instagram banned me for making comments for a week, and of course provides no context for the ban. Based on your use is not an explanation. It's 1984. They didn't say anything as to why. Based on your use of commenting, you can't say this. The internet is the opposite of the First Amendment. Okay, so now let's get into it. Let's get into the anti-Republican stuff. Texas, you can own an AR-15, but marijuana is dangerous. Okay. Liberal, protect children from violence. Colorado, it's legal to be naked in front of a minor if you claim you aren't turned on. Sorry, that just brings me pause. Republican, we want to only enforce laws mentioned in the Constitution. Well, also Republicans, let's start a drug war. Even though the Constitution was printed on cannabis hemp 14 years after it was ratified. And marijuana just started to be illegal in 1937. 1937, y'all. Weed hasn't even been illegal for a century, and we think that's some kind of American fucking, principle. Let's get beyond this. Here's a real question. Why are both Jesus and Lucifer the morning star, aka Venus? Why are they both considered to be the morning star? Because they both bring light? Or because Quetzalcoatl was known as Venus also, and Quetzalcoatl was a white bearded man who had miracles and who was a virgin birth, Like there's so many mythological themes that we've just been not taught as a kid. All we're taught now is fucking how America is evil. Like they don't teach anything about real history. Because the Jesus of Revelation, by the way, is actually Satan pretending to be God again. Just as Yahweh was Satan pretending to be God in the Old Testament. And that's why the Old Testament and Revelation are so evil. Because it's Satan pretending to be God. I'm not saying that prophecies are wrong and that we shouldn't take them for account. But when we look at it, we know that's not the Jesus that was preached in Mark, Matthew, John, and Luke. We know that's not the same Jesus. And what does the Bible say? Judge things by their fruits. Okay? So when we judge things by their fruit, Jesus says a million freaking plagues at the end of Revelation, but he was the guy who said, turn the other cheek. Be killed instead of killed. That kind of thing. So Revelation, it was actually in the day, it was argued heavily against keeping Revelation in the Bible. However, it is very real and accurate. I'm saying it's as real and accurate as the Old Testament was in describing Satan's plans. Revelation is all about Satan's plans. And that's why Jesus says he's the morning star in Revelation. Jesus never said he's the morning star in Mark, Matthew, John, or Luke. Just in Revelation. And then you see all the evil perpetuated in that book. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Christian hates New Age ideas like telekinesis. Bible. Jesus stops the wind and the sea with his mind. How can you hate telekinesis? Oh, well, that's a miracle. No, it's telekinesis. If this happened in this real world, and it's not just a metaphorical, mythological thing that happened, and it really happened in this real world of flesh and bone, then Jesus had telekinesis. I said Nietzsche because he affected the lightning with his mind. Because Jupiter in Pisces says you're psychic. Okay? And Jupiter is ruled by Zeus, which is lightning, and Pisces is the sign of psychic ability. So, of course, Nietzsche affected lightning. As I've said for about 12 years now, but no one cares. Either you care, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, or you know because you're part of a secret society and you already know this stuff is real, and you're not supposed to talk about it. You can't comment on it, you can't like the video, you have to completely ignore it. It's crazy. These Illuminati scumfucks are specifically ignoring anyone who mentions the truth. And so you wonder the kind of bind I'm in. Because I'm talking about crazy stuff Christians are taught not to believe, and New Agers are taught not to think about because they think the Bible is all redneck BS. And yet I'm combining the Bible with the New Age stuff, and the Illuminati know both are real, so they can't say anything. They cannot move forward when someone like me explains all the contradictions, the so-called contradictions of our world. The skeptic says, get to astrology, Jesus said he would return at the end of the age, but he's been dead for 2,000 years. So that means his prophecy is false because he didn't return at the end of that age. Well, I don't think we're defining the same words, buddy. Age does not mean the 70 years of your boring life. Age refers to the astrological age of Pisces, which was 2,000 years ago, which ends now during the Aquarius age. So Jesus says, yeah, I won't return to the end of the age. He's talking about the astrological age. And I'm sure everyone who watches my videos knows exactly what I'm talking about. If this is your first click, then welcome to the Matrix, okay? Jesus returns at the end of the Pisces age, because guess what? Pisces is the 2 fish. And guess what? Jesus gave 2 fish to everyone, 2 fish and bread when they were starving in the middle of the desert. And what did they also do in John 21? They caught 153 fish, which is a triangular number, like 666 and 2701, which is Genesis 1, and 276, which is this number of souls saved in Acts, the book of Acts. All these triangular numbers everywhere, and the Christians want to still say gematria and numerology is pagan witchcraft. Well, then explain away your friggin' Bible, okay? Because your Bible is only hiding astrology, and it's only hiding the zodiacal precession of the equinox. And here's Jordan Maxwell.
Are many houses, are many resting places for the sun.
There's many houses in heaven.
Of the zodiac.
Literally,
basically, that boils down to this: that both the Old and New Testament are based on astrology. The 12 signs of the zodiac is part of the number 12 in Christianity. There were 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 brothers of Joseph, the 12 breastplate stones on the high priest, and then there's 12 apostles. Look at the Bible, and you will see how many times 12 is used. It's all based on the 12 signs of the zodiac. There was no 12 tribes of Israel. Each one of those signs in the 12 tribes of Israel was an astrological indicator as to what each month represented in the ancient Jewish religion. And the ancient Jewish religion understood this. It's people today who are not studying theology do not understand that the whole of the Old and New Testament is a metaphor. HarperCollins Study Dictionary says the Lord made the constellations of Pleiades and Orion. I don't know how one could read something like this and not see that the Bible is saying God made the constellations of the zodiac. New International Bible says He, God, is the maker of the Bear and Orion and the Pleiades and the constellations of the south. So if you want to find fault with astrology, then you'll find you fault with the ideas and concepts that God has put into the heavens as laws.
God counts all the stars, gives them all their names.
We see them all for writing about the sun. This is why Jesus had 12 apostles. Jesus represents God's Son, not S-O-N, S-U. Change the ordinances of heaven. And it's important here to remember that each sign of the constellation lasts 2,150 years. Every 2,150 years, the world changes completely. All the great religions of the world realize that. And now Moses comes down with a new beginning of a new way to worship God. A new time when God is going to be worshiped in a different way. And so Moses goes up to find out what that new way of worship that God wants people to do. And so we have the story of the golden calf. Golden, well, because the sun is golden. And calf is a bull. So we have the golden calf, or the bull, Taurus, and the sun in the age of Taurus. Today, Israel is trying to bring back the good old days of bull worship. But it's impossible because Taurus is gone. We're in the age of Pisces. And they want to go back to the old days. The way we worship God in the old days was the golden calf. We're in Pisces, and we're at the end of Pisces. That's why the Christians talk about the end times we're living in, the last days we're living in. The last days of what? The last days of Pisces.
Thank you.
Change the...
Thank you. The age Jesus was talking, I won't come out to the end of the age, aka the zodiacal age. And so as Christians, of course, for Satan to infiltrate the churches, he wants to make Christians think astrology is not Christian. It's, the irony is beautiful and sweet and sickening. I get nausea from these lies. Christian, astrology makes you not have free will. Also Christian, God preordained your entire life. So you can't say you don't believe in astrology because it doesn't give you free will. Because if you believe in predestination, that's already an indicator you don't believe in free will. God ordained everything. And if God numbers the stars and he knows them all by name, then maybe that has something to do with it. Jehovah, thou shalt not kill. Also Jehovah, slaughter every nation who doesn't call me God. And this is the whole Yahweh is Satan thing, if you didn't know. Old Testament God, I am the Lord and I never change. New Testament, Jesus preaches the exact opposite of the Old Testament God. So how can Jesus preach the opposite of the Old Testament God when that God said he never changes. If he never changes, then eye for an eye would be throughout eternity. Then why did Jesus say a couple thousand years later, oh, it's not an eye for an eye, it's turn the other cheek? That's what true morality is. I guess God does change, or he doesn't, and that wasn't really God. I feel like Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth because you've been lied to for your 30, 40, 50 years of your life, okay? All right, and there's this new little tablet with this crazy alien writing or whatever. They don't know. There's this new tablet that emerged out of Georgia a couple weeks ago or a month ago, and it has this crazy writing. Who knows what it is? I just see the spiral at the end next to the sun. Once again, as if the end times is some crazy black hole portal spiral, whatever, releasing the end times Yahweh reptilians on us. Because what does Isaiah 13 says? They come from the end of this heaven, the end of space, come to destroy the land. Yahweh and the wrath of his indignation comes to destroy the whole land, and the day of Yahweh is the reckoning. Doesn't sound like Jesus. Sounds like Yahweh is evil. Yeah, Nikola Tesla, when your education limits your imagination, it's indoctrination. It's not education. And there's an anti-Masonic party back in the day, even though this whole country is founded by Masons. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest, I'm not making videos every day like these attention seekers. I just make them every couple of weeks when I just have to get something off my chest. Okay? So, anyway. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. Oh, you mean like when I say the Jesus return of 1844 was not a great disappointment, and Nietzsche cured the great disappointment because he said he was the next greatest destiny of mankind, and 5 religions said 1844 is the return of the Messiah, the return of a great teacher or shaman, and Nietzsche was the most profound philosopher ever, and we just think it's a coincidence? Don't judge my new ideas by their immediate results. Well, if it was right, then he'd be on the cover of Time and everyone would be talking about it. No. If I'm right, then they will suppress this stuff. And they will say, hey, he's right. Let's not ever talk about him. Let's just have his YouTube channel just underground forever. Let's never make him go viral. Maybe I'm just not entertaining enough, or you're too stupid to actually understand what I'm saying. Not you, but the random people who just randomly click a video. Not my followers the past 17 years. I've been on YouTube since 2006, you guys, girls. I've been preaching truth and astrology, and it's just not going to get out there because I don't have some fancy schmancy fucking way to present it. I'm giving it to you raw and real, like I'm a professor speaking from a podium, but my podium is my shitty ass 1-bedroom apartment. So who are you going to trust? The people getting paid by society, or the people who are getting fucked by society like me? Sorry, I'm all mad. Just kind of concerned. Mark Twain, the Freemason, was born when Halley's comet flew by Earth. He even said, I came in with Halley's comet in 1835. It's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. And then Halley's comet next appeared April 21st, 1910, which is the day Mark Twain died. I don't know if he killed himself because of some Freemasonic ritual, but yeah, this is true. It's a true story. Just like Stanley Kubrick died 666 days before January 1st, 2001, his most famous film. He died March 9th, 1999. 666 days before 2001, Stanley Kubrick. And his greatest film was called 2001. So yeah, these Freemasons literally get killed or sacrifice themselves on specific days. Kind of like Jack Nietzsche. Remember that whole thing that I figured out no one else fucking knows except the Illuminati? I said, oh, weird. Friedrich Nietzsche died August 25th, 1900. Weird. The only other Nietzsche in fucking history who was famous was Jack Nietzsche, who's some composer for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and all this and that. He died August 25th, the year 2000. Exactly 100 years to the day as Nietzsche. So these Illuminati people are killing off other Illuminati their exact day that works for their little system. And yeah, I'm the only one who noticed that. So, where's my paycheck? People getting paid for these stupid ass truths and these, planned out scenarios, and they're getting the Pulitzer Prize and the Nobel Prize for all this shit. Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize, and he droned the most kids of any president, and that's the Peace Prize. So this whole fucking system is wrong, but it's for you and I to call out. It's like literally we have a field day with the amount of deception and evil going on in this world, and yet we're the ones who are called crazy. We're the ones who are conspiracy theorists. And yet they want to pretend none of this shit is happening. The Denver airports don't have the Freemason logo on it. Yes, it does. They don't show the KJV Bible end times explicitly on image, but yes, it does. It's laughable. They're laughing at everyone who doesn't keep up. And us poor ass Christian truthers who get nothing for this, just fulfillment of our souls, are getting laughed at the most. And when we call Trump a fucking Illuminati puppet, then it's a whole big thing. Well, he's going to bring back America, gun rights, First Amendment, transgender, blah, blah, blah. Bro, he's the false hope. He's the false, fake hope. Trump is the part of the little horn of Daniel 8. He magnifies himself. He destroys through peace, false peace, and he understands riddles. He knows everything. And so do we, luckily. But we just don't, we never get our street cred. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. Y'all have a good one. Hopefully y'all had a great Friday the 13th. And if you didn't, I guess you're not watching this video. Later.